All right. We rolling?
I guess.
All
we
right.
are good.
We're back for episode 2. Your boy Alex here. Our buddy Chris. Travis and Matt. And we're bringing on a guest today. Daniel Greenleaf Bartholomew Smith. We should call him Dan. Welcome to the show, Dan.
What's up, Dan?
Take that out of the shot.
Dan is a movie specialist that we're having on this week.
We'll roll some B-roll right quick of some of his best work.
Hello, my name is Dan. It is 4 o'clock in the morning and we're going to make a tuna salad. First we need a bowl. I stole from movie theater. Don't tag it, but
To get us started, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your career as a filmmaker, Dan? Don't worry, we didn't prepare for
How
this.
you explained it to me earlier was good.
Oh yeah, I started making YouTube videos for the fun of it when I was in middle school. We had shitty school equipment, which is why if you go back on my YouTube channel, the video quality drops drastically because I was actually using real footage and then transferring it to a computer. And then I got involved in a company called Project Aware that makes, you know, in high school and health class they have those shitty like 40-minute videos about like teen depression and don't do drugs, kids. And they have like a shitty family where the dad's like, I'm gonna disown you because you smoked weed at one time. Yeah, I was director of photography and chief editor on a bunch of those, which was weird because every other person that was part of those projects was all like, I have depression, this is an important issue, and I'm like, I'm happy. I like your movies. I don't really give a shit about your problems, but I like making movies.
Fantastic.
Not the most popular people on those sets.
Love it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You've never told me that before. That's really funny.
I have DVD copies of all the ones I made with them.
That sounds incredible.
Oh my god, we should have
I
brought
need
those
to
in,
see
dude. we gotta get those for the feed, dude.
I think those are licensed.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, some of them are actually free to watch on YouTube if you look up Project Aware Maine, I think it's called. No, there's one of them that really bugged me because nobody noticed it in filming, but there's this one background actor we had because we were filming these all at high school, and it's just this fat kid walking around in every scene of a hallway just carrying a chocolate milk. Every fucking scene.
Was this by accident? Or?
Well, he was on set and he was a background character, so we were told that everybody just walk around, but he's always... like everybody else,
He
he
didn't
changed
change
their...
what he did?
No, we told people to change their shirt. So he changed his shirt, but then put on the same hoodie and was still carrying his chocolate milk the whole time. So it's like I like to believe in that universe he's stalking the main character.
Drinking his chocolate milk.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible.
You learned a lot from that?
I learned a lot about actual film and editing and stuff, but YouTube is a totally different beast because I'm not trying to do like professional structured stories. It's all about the quick edits and like you got 10 minutes to get everybody's attention.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different editing style at least.
Yeah.
So
Vulgar works.
yeah, a lot of thing about every single one of my YouTube videos. Pretty much, I do one takes. I'm like one take. Oh, I messed up. Whatever. It's going in the video. I'm too lazy to refilm that.
You should have saw the first cut of our podcast before YouTube decided to delete it. Because there was a different version than I'm pretty sure the one that you saw.
Oh, you guys not
So
guys weren't
Verified?
yet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it could be
We didn't know
long-
about that.
long format.
Know
they
about
didn't
that.
tell you until you uploaded the video, though. So I deleted it off of my hard drive and everything.
You can tell we don't do this often.
Yeah.
Only
I don't
the second
verify
time.
YouTube channels often.
So I know you have a project you're working on right now.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Well,
How much can you tell us about that?
There's a video on my YouTube channel called The Death of Frank McFrankman, about a police officer named Frank McFrankman, who at the end of the video isn't dead. So we were like, yeah, we should probably finally make a video explaining how he died. And it was originally supposed to be just a short, like, 1 minute video, and now, because of just random ideas everyone's come up with, it's turned into this whole thing where it could be like 20 to 30 minutes at this point. So,
Make it
Very
a
excited for that. Little
Yeah.
short film.
this guy here plays the ninja in it,
I do.
and you weren't expecting me to be that loud in that one scene, were you?
I was like, I don't even know like what to say in response to this, so I was like, I'm just gonna not say anything.
I don't even know what I accomplished yesterday. I just know a GoPro was strapped to my forehead and we went for a ride through the woods. Like, that's it. I don't know. That's it. I don't.
I was trying to think of how to fit that footage into the movie.
Yeah, you don't even know
May
if
or
you're gonna be able
I
to
might
use
have
it.
to just make a totally different video for that.
But the footage will be used.
Yeah.
We'll
Alright.
find
If
a way.
anything, we'll be using this podcast.
Yeah, we could show it in here maybe. I hope the camera's not fucking muddy.
What?
So I don't know if the camera's muddy or not. It's probably fine.
That thing is waterproof up to 150 feet.
It's really up to you and what you feel like doing. Let's be honest. I don't pay you, so
Wait, didn't you pee on camera?
you do whatever you feel like. It's fine.
Well, luckily the camera's pointing at the ceiling, but you hear him piss.
That would be a good
Wait.
thing to put in here
You
as well.
do.
I wasn't there, so I'm
Oh,
learning
yeah.
all
Okay,
this
well,
for the first time.
When he just turned on the GoPro and like literally just strapped it to my head, and I was like, all right, but I have to pee, and he's like, all right, well don't point down. I was like, okay. I should go pee first. I have to pee real bad. Should I record myself while I'm peeing?
Y'all want to come? I mean, you can just drive the lawnmower tractor right over to the trail entrance and we'll park him.
Can I wear this while I go pee?
Yeah, I don't care as long as you don't. Hey, Dick.
All right, I'll just look up.
As long as it'll re-recorded.
Yeah.
That word you can't see the screen after you put it on the
Yeah, I found that out. It's too late. I'm already on the way, you know? Sweet Jesus Murphy.
Oh, that was a good experience. We cut open the couch.
Yeah,
You'll see a
there's
little-
huge gaping hole in the side of the couch now.
Couch got a C-section.
Why is this knife so dull? Careful, your hands is the knife here.
Get in.
No, I did get in, but the problem is
Is there another
there's another board.
Alright, cut that a little bit bigger for my hand.
Yeah.
Good. Oh.
I feel like you could fit this into the short film.
That's right under, so which means falling down here, bounced off this board, and it's right.
Yo, let's go! God bless the Chilean government.
Oh, yeah.
It works.
No biggie. It's just what we do here.
I'm just surprised.
I cut it open.
Oh wow.
You said the couch. You said the couch got a seat section.
I was like, that just sounds
C-section.
easier than anything else.
What fucked
so-
the couch to make an iPhone?
Well, apparently you did. It's your phone. You're the father.
You fucked the couch, man.
Told me that when he was a kid, that some other kid he went to school with was talking about how he would like fuck his couch, like a homemade pocket pussy type deal. He just put his dick between the cushions, and then he said he's like, I had a girlfriend at the time, so I was like, I don't need to try that. He goes, and by the time I didn't have a girlfriend anymore, I was too old to fuck my couch. And that's where that sparked.
of fucking your own couch.
Yeah, apparently there's an age difference,
Age limit of fucking your couch.
which is 16, by the way.
16's the age limit of
Yeah.
fucking your couch? So, okay.
As soon as you can drive.
Yeah, if you can drive.
If you could drive to the lazy boy down the road, then there's no need to fuck your own couch anymore.
That's true.
Fuck the couch in the store. It'd be like an overnight challenge.
24 hours in IKEA. How many couches can I fuck?
Is this like a dry competition, or do you have to seduce the couch?
It has to be sensual.
What does seducing a couch involve?
That's some nice stitching you got there.
Does your couch dress up in some, like, new covers and stuff?
Well, at IKEA, yeah, they're all different types of couch body types.
I like my couch to have a little bit of role
Got
play.
some of those, like, big, puffy couches with the nice curves, you know? And those hard wooden couches that just have barely any padding.
Yeah, I get
Basically a bench.
I get to cut.
We could cut
nice
to like a scene
on
of one of us just spinning really fast in an office chair, like moaning.
Do you have an office chair?
I have a gaming chair. Yeah, we do have an office chair.
We do have an office
Spin in the
chair.
fucking office chair, dude. I don't have the footage of you spinning.
Have
in
the
the
big hole. All right.
Oh, we're doing
Can I
it.
use your chair, Matt? It just
Do we
seems easier.
Right now.
Oh yeah, we don't have to record that right now, do we?
No.
That's
This
funny.
thing
I was
called
ready to do it
editing, It's
now.
magic.
I was ready to do it right now. I was
Stuff
like,
that happened
"Alright, let's get
yesterday
that
can
done."
happen today.
That's true.
Unless it's my edit.
Not in a court of law.
Sir, it appears this footage has been doctored.
You see
No.
this part here where all of a sudden there's a picture of a car driving into a driveway, and then all of a sudden you're in a hotel? Yeah. Because that's how
Wow.
filming works.
That murder didn't happen.
The Hefe?
It's it's fine, dude. No, we can't get monetized on these videos anyway.
Still, it's
Yeah,
it
there's
pushes
no
it down
way.
in
We have to have
At
followers.
least 1,000
We have-
subscribers. At least I think it's like 4,000 hours watched on your channel. So we have to make
Yeah.
4,000 views.
This video is sponsored by the United Dans of America Foundation.
Oh, yeah.
We're always accepting donations to help any Dans in need. I'm not the only Daniel Smith. I wish I could say I was.
I feel like, yeah, it's probably a pretty common name.
Well, the most famous Daniel Smith is the most flexible man in the world.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's hyperextensive at every joint. And then he went on Ripley's Believe It or Not. Then he went on America's Got Talent. Then he got hired by Stanley's Superhumans, and he was the host of that TV show.
You should just use his resume, dude.
Yeah.
No one would be able to. Like, you are Dan Smith.
But they're like, wow, you're the most flexible man in the world. Bend in half. And I'm like,
Just be like, I
no.
can't.
It's like,
Just like,
we're
I
out of
can't
that.
do that anymore.
I can't do it on command. I need to warm up first and then just never warm up.
It's always
Like,
something.
yeah, I'll do it for you sometime.
That show was weird. Stanley's Superhumans.
Yeah.
You guys ever watch
I
that?
think I only saw like one episode.
They just
No.
go around finding people with weird abilities. Fair one's a guy named Bob Munden, who's the fastest quick shooter in the world.
So it's like a freak show, but it's traveling.
Yeah,
And it
it's
goes
traveling
to-
freak show, pretty much, but
It's like person to person.
person to person. Except it's not like... It's like people who are like legit, like, this is fucking
It's
special.
so it's kind of like the same setup as like My 600-Pound Life, but they're talking to people that are interesting.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite direction.
I was like,
The opposite direction.
They're like, instead of being super obese, they're super powered. They're the
Yeah.
opposite.
the two people I remember is a guy named Bob Munden, who he fires so fat. He can pull his gun out, cock it, aim it, fire it, and reholster it in less than one half of 1/10 of 1 second.
So you could just kill people and nobody would know.
No. In the show, they do slow mo to show that he fires 2 bullets, but he fires 2 bullets at 2 targets that are 10 feet apart. And it sounds like 1 bullet, like 1 gunshot. Because he fires so fast
Dude,
that the audio concussion doesn't
Imagine if you
change.
worked out like a lumber yard, and, like people are just used to stuff falling all the time. You're just killing people.
No one
No,
can
dude, I just
fucking
draw up the
see.
2x4.
He's
The
just standing there, the guy in front of him just all of a sudden falls. Like, what happened?
Like, I think a bird flew right through him.
The other one I remember is this, I can't remember the guy's name, but it was this random guy who was born with extra muscle ligaments in his hands that were all coiled around his bone. So he looks like a normal dude, like this skinny guy who works in like an auto shop, but he can just grab like a frying pan and bend it in half with his grip strength.
God damn.
His hands are just like in the show. They have him like hold just a rope with his hand, and he can stop a car from moving. Just how strong his grip is.
That's fucking
Imagine shaking that guy's
crazy.
hand.
Terrifying.
Maybe he
your
could
hands.
shatter your hand if you wanted.
Easy.
Damn.
Just get into a fight with him. He fucking grabs your arms, breaks it. What do you do?
Imagine him with the producers and they're like trying to figure out how much they're gonna pay him. He's like, "It'll be 300,000. It'll be. We got a
Okay.
deal. We got."
I think it was the Believe It or Not show. The guy that ate glass. He just fucking ate anything that they gave him.
There's a guy that ate a car.
Yeah.
I think it might be the same guy.
There's a guy that ate a plane.
Was it like an Indian guy?
He
Yeah.
ate a
Yeah,
plane.
yeah, he ate a plane.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was more than one bite.
We had a
Travis.
recent
No.
It
conversation.
was like over the course of like 2 years, he ate
Yeah.
literally every single part of a full plane.
What's the point though? Like bragging rights?
I feel like the real challenge is putting the plane back together out of his shit. That'd be a real achievement. Like pulling the pieces out and slowly welding it back together.
I mean, a plane is mostly metal and plastic.
Yeah, how do you chew that?
Cut into. I mean, if you grind like iron down.
Yeah, I feel like it would just
Powder.
be pointy.
Maybe he's like the one man, one jar
Oh.
guy, but it's like reverse.
I feel like that guy must have like an incredibly strong throat to not get cut by the shit
Yeah.
he eats.
Think of everything
Strong
else.
asshole too.
That's what I was going with that.
Yeah.
Think of everything else.
This is just gonna degrade into shit stories again.
Yeah. What's up, guys?
It's all
So
our
what-
brains know.
It's
It's
like eating
just
light
shit.
bulbs.
When I showed Josh that, he
Wait a
goes, there was a
second.
lot of talk about shit on there.
Wait a second.
It
That
was
shit
half
might
the
pay.
Guys.
podcast.
Guys, we didn't even say the name of the show.
So?
What's the name of the show?
When we introduced the show, we didn't even say the name of the show.
Oh, I
It's
just
a guy that
assumed
eats
it's gonna-
planes.
It's gonna come up.
People don't watch TV anymore.
That's true.
They're just gonna search YouTube. A guy eats planes.
It's just called The Talk. There's barely a name.
Yeah. That was like the most generic thing.
That's true.
Alright, I'll say it next time though, if it makes you feel better.
It does make
Isn't that already a show?
Yeah.
Yeah,
A TV show.
The Talk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so generic you can't trademark it. So,
It's like giving your kids the talk. Like everybody
Yeah.
says that.
that was the idea behind it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing the talk? Alright.
Back in the day, it was a podcast that I had, but I would talk to people with no father figure. So I'd be giving them the talk. We had 3 episodes.
How old
It was
are you?
canned. I'm 20.
Oh. Because you said back in the day, I was like, you gotta be like 18 to 20. So I'm like, you're like, I'm 13. I'm giving the talk to some 8-year-olds. This is really unprofessional.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
It was audio only.
Dude, I would watch a show
I'd
if it
listen
was
to that.
just a camera on a school bus. Just
That would
kids
really
making
be
fun of
funny.
each other. Because listen, I don't get
random shit that
yeah.
happens on school buses.
I don't get parents that try to keep kids from swearing because the moment you ride a public school bus, you
It's a
learn every
shit show.
swear that
You're
exists.
learning everything.
I
No
once-
one's there to stop you.
I once stopped a school bus.
You stopped. The school
I
bus?
stopped. Like, I stood up and stopped a school bus, and I went on like a 30-minute like rant about the bus driver, and like he cried. I'm the first stop on that bus, so like it worked out. But he cried publicly. Everybody thought I was a hero, but I felt really bad.
Was he a shitty bus driver?
He was a really shitty bus driver. It was sparked from him like screaming at a child for literally doing nothing.
The way you phrase that, I picture like I stopped a bus.
That's what I
I was the
cat
guy
in
with
the road,
the
and I
grip.
just-
The grip guy.
Dude, we had a bus driver,
Joe?
and I wasn't gonna say his name, but it's a
Joe.
pretty generic name. That's fine.
I don't care if anyone does know his name. What
Yeah.
are they gonna do? Find him?
Well, he
Joe the
hated
bus
me.
driver?
I mean, I was a loud kid, but like he probably had some reason to it, but he really hated me. And like one morning, I remember I just said good morning to him. Right? Normally I would just walk by and not say anything because we hated each other. Right? But I just said good morning. It was like good morning. That was it. And like he like gets like halfway through the route and then just pulls over the bus and comes back and yells at me. He's like, "What's up with the sarcastic good morning?" I was like, "Just saying good morning."
What had to happen in your life to become a bus driver? And I'm not saying people that are like genuinely bus drivers because they're like disabled or something, but like people that are like 50, you knew they had a career before and they're a bus driver.
Yeah, it must suck.
My bus, alright, My bus
I mean,
ride.
I had bus
yeah.
drivers that were cool. Though, for
My
sure.
my high school was 4 towns combined to do one high school. So I was on the furthest town at the edge of it, so my bus ride was like 50 minutes. And our bus driver was this old lady, and she didn't give a shit about, like, you could throw things on the bus, smoke weed in the first seat. She would not fucking care.
She'd join you.
Because I remember asking her one day, I was like, you're not going to stop him? And she's like, if you all died, I wouldn't care. And I was like, that's the kind of person I want driving me. Did not feel safe on that bus at all.
My bus driver to Vogue, my last year of high school, tried to fight one of the kids on the bus, and it was the funniest thing in the world. Because it was like this old bus driver, and this kid, you know, he's probably like 17. He didn't give a shit. Was way bigger than the bus driver. Like, easily could have, like, knocked him out. But he tried to fight him, and, like, he just started, like, the kid just, like, got in his face, started, like, yelling at him, and, like, backed him down to the front of the bus. Got back in his seat. And that was it. Kid went back to his seat. Then we got to the high school, and there was, like, 3 cops there. It was really funny.
For the bus driver or for the kid?
Both.
Kid had a mental breakdown, yelled at the teacher, you know, like, cops come in.
I did
Hilarious.
We gave my 8th grade class teacher, or my 8th grade class gave our teacher a mental breakdown, middle of class, stopped teaching. Cried for like 30 minutes. Told us we all sucked. Disappeared. Never saw her again. But then we got a hot substitute teacher for the rest of the year.
That'll be our intro.
One kid got suspended for like air humping her from behind. It was an awful class. Awful class.
Why would you want to do that?
It was like, I had fun in the class for sure, but that was an awful group of kids. Whoever put that class together fucked up.
Okay. You guys had a much, like, wimpier teacher sets than I did. Because I went to Mount Airy, which is the worst high school in the state of Maine. Like, we have the worst grades, worst sports team, worst everything. We had a kid get thrown through the glass of a vending machine by the janitor.
What?
Hey, he took a swing at the janitor, and the janitor just grabbed him, like, judo arm through him straight through the front of a vending machine. And then, like, we had a teacher named Mr. P, who was a ex-Marine and taught at, like, he teaches at, like, 3 different dojos in the state of Maine. And he broke a kid's thumb once. Kid threw a punch at him, he just grabbed his hand, rolled his hand under, and just shattered the joint of his thumb. He also ripped a kid's arm ligaments by putting him into an arm bar on the floor because he called him a bitch. And we had a math teacher named Mr. I don't really want to put their names. I'm just going to say Mr. S. And, one math class. Kids are talking really loud. No one's paying attention. And he threw a chair through a window outside. This is on the 2nd story. And he said, next person to talk follows the chair. I remember that class.
I wonder
That
how
was
much they were
terrifying.
paying the teachers there to hate their lives that much.
Probably not good, man. Probably not good.
There was a special ed teacher. Everybody just called him Jared, and he's like he'd spend all of his classes like teaching while just like sanding boomerangs because he's a professional competitive boomerang like person. And he has this metal boomerang, and every day during lunch, if you go outside, he's sitting there throwing boomerangs like throwing knives into trees. And we're like, dude, if anybody runs away from him in this school, they're just
Dead.
They're getting boomerangs.
That sounds like a good teacher to have around.
Yeah.
Our vice principal was an ex was a Marine sniper or something like that, and he broke a kid's leg because the kid was stealing drugs behind the school, and he chased him all around like the sports area, like the football field, and just tackled him to the ground and like broke his knee open.
Nice.
That was my school, yeah. I loved it.
I'm glad that I didn't end up staying in that area long enough to go to high school there.
We were the first generation to have laptops in our high school, so me and my friends never got made fun of or anything, even though we were the nerds, because everybody needed us to hide their porn files.
You start blackmailing people?
One of our things is we're like, yeah, we can make it so the school can't track where you're going online. We can make it so they won't find any of your illegal video games or any of your porn or anything. But Yeah, if you double crossed us, all that shit. We never send it to the school. We would just send it to all your friends and parents what your fetishes were.
I did that, but I wasn't going through people's files. I was just getting Land School, which was like this hawk, like almost kind of like Big Brother software off of people's computers.
When you said I did that, I thought you meant I sent my porn to my parents. It's like,
That too.
My freshman and sophomore year, the security code for like the parental access on the computers was literally just summer and the year. So each year I would just log in to and then make it so the teachers couldn't do anything to my computer. Like they couldn't actually do anything.
Could you imagine being an IT person at a school nowadays where every kid knows at least a couple codes?
do you know the simplest breakthrough through firewall at schools I ever found? Just go to Google Translate and go translate from English to English. Put in a porn website, and it'll bring you there. And in your search history, it just comes up as Google Translate.
Goddamn.
Because they can't block Google.
So you're watching porn in school?
No, we just told this stuff. We found this out to get on because they banned like all like the gaming websites where you can like join private Call of Duty servers and stuff. And we figured out this is the way to get them. We realized you could use that to literally get on any site. And sometimes I would go on porn websites in school just to download the porn to sell it to somebody else for like $10 on a flash drive.
If you in my school library, if you powered down the Mac and then relaunched it into safe mode, you basically bypass all the users. You make a master admin of the admin. You have access to the entire school servers.
I remember one time
Nothing shady happened with
we were
that.
sitting in the lunchroom and my friend Jeremy just came up and he's like, "Hey guys, check this out." Opened his laptop and he's like, "These are all the school security cameras I got into."
Yeah, fair.
Is there commitment levels?
Oh, it just means
Well, when your fiance, that means that like, alright, I agree, we're doing this.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, we have a
official.
kid. So, like,
So
tax documents are married. We live in the same household.
kids
Or
are easy to
child.
get rid of, man. It's like furniture.
Blow
Just put
torch in a vacuum.
Just leave them in a shopping cart, put a free sign on it, and leave them in front of Walmart in Florida. It'll be gone.
You don't even have to put the free sign in Florida.
That's what you do with a vacuum. Leave it in front of Walmart for the free. I wonder how mad Walmart would be if you rolled up, empty a fucking bed of a pickup truck, put a free sign, and leave.
I mean, they're not gonna chase you down to bring it for you to bring it back.
Yeah.
If it's in Florida, they would probably just go outside, put like a $5 price tag on everything, and take away the free sign.
They'd put a clearance sign.
Somebody would buy it.
Probably.
Just call it an open box, dude. Open box. And I'm like, it's not even in a box.
I didn't
know,
realize
the
until
box
I
was
actually
open.
lived in Florida, there are alligators fucking everywhere.
I've never
down
seen
there.
one.
Dude,
Never seen.
I do magnet fishing every now and then. You guys know what that is?
Yeah.
Magnet
You
fishing?
get like 1,000-pound like pull magnet on a rope and you throw it in water, see what kind of metal shit you can pull out.
Yeah.
That's
Fine.
not actually fishing, then. You're
Yeah, well.
I thought you were like
Yeah,
throwing like little magnets so the fish eat them and then magnetizing them out.
I mean, I've seen people catch fish because the kid fished like 8 magnets, or I saw one where it stuck to a fish hook in the fish's mouth, and the magnet fisher and the fisherman were basically playing tug of war with the fish.
This is a really good necklace we have in here.
They were on like opposite sides of this river. The fisherman's doing this, and the magnet fisher's trying to pull it out of the water.
Really
No, the first time I ever went magnet fishing was down in Florida. Threw it like 3 times. It was like a $100 magnet, and an alligator just swims by. Its foot catches on my rope, and it just pulls the rope out of my hands. And I'm like, "Well, guess that hobby's done."
Just give up.
What did I say in the last podcast? If you spend money
Spend
on
money.
first day of your new
Yeah.
hobby, you're not staying in
Well,
it.
I still do it to this day. I still have like magnet fishing stuff, but it's just the alligator just $100 magnet. Got to throw it 2 times, and the alligator just stole it.
That when I lived in Jacksonville, there was one that would like crawl up out of the creek and then just like sleep in the middle of the street. And instead of moving it or like doing anything about it, they would just like close the road down. Like everyone's just like, I have to take this road to get home, and they just close the fucking road.
They are
So what do you do?
naturally there, though.
What?
How do you get home?
You don't.
You just can't get home.
Fuck you.
They just close the road, and you're like, well, that's the way home.
When I worked at Universal Studios down in Florida, like, if you tried to call in sick, they'd be like, are you really sick? Do you really think you can't come in? But if you call in, like, yeah, there's an alligator behind my car, they're like, oh, we get it. They wouldn't question it at all.
What you can do there, alright.
Yeah. So,
How many people have seen an alligator?
Just run it
Me and
over.
Matt are off that list.
I haven't seen an
You've seen
alligator.
Okay, so it's just
Unless you
people.
count the zoo. Like,
Yeah, I've
which
seen one at a
I
zoo,
think
but,
doesn't.
like,
Yeah.
I've never seen
No.
a nat or a wild.
I've seen an alligator hatch
That's like cheating.
Yeah.
at a zoo.
A what?
I've seen an alligator hatch, but it was at a zoo.
That's kind of cool.
I walked down my front door of my camper in Florida and went, that's an alligator, walked back in, and then just sat down and watched another episode of whatever the fuck I was watching. I guess I'm not getting lunch right now.
Fair.
Yeah, you kind of just always have to be like, well, my day's made.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. There's sea
You
dragons
guys leave
on my
early
lawn.
just in case that there's an alligator.
What?
You guys leave early just in case.
I didn't realize till I lived down there, alligators can run, like, really fucking fast.
Yeah, they go like 20 miles an hour or something.
Yeah, like, they can run faster than humans. Like, they are really fast.
They don't-
Short sprints.
They don't look like they could move fast.
No, they don't. I also didn't realize until I went to, like, alligator Gatorland down there. Alligators, whatever the length of their body is how high they can jump out of the water with their mouth. 'Cause
What?
They can flick their tail under the water for extra momentum. So if it's an 18-foot alligator, they can get an 18-foot branch on a tree over the water.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
They can live a fuck ton of time too.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, imagine just seeing an 18-foot alligator
Yeah.
jumping out of the
And
water.
after all of that, pythons can still eat them in one bite.
Yep.
Crazy.
True. Anacondas.
Yeah.
We don't have
Not
that issue.
anaconda.
No.
That's
We
all,
just got
all I can think now.
DMCA, dude. You said the one line. Now we're getting sued.
We'll ask Nicki Minaj. We'll email her. Can we license this for the 2 seconds that we said it? Thank you. That's probably an expensive bill, though. She probably still costs like at least 10 grand.
Oh, yeah.
Just to even say the
I
word.
believe AC/DC is still the most expensive music to license for movies.
Iron Man paid a fuck ton.
I mean, if you got that Marvel money,
They don't give a shit. They're just like, yeah, might as well. They probably literally were just like, yo, what's the most expensive song we can get in this movie?
Did you know the script for the first Iron Man movie was 7 pages originally when they started filming? It just said, Tony Stark says science stuff. And that was like it. So a lot of that was just Robert Downey Jr. going, yeah, science stuff.
He's just before set, like he's getting his makeup put on. He's just like on Wikipedia.
Just like quantum's a cool word.
They
Use
switched.
that.
They switched actors for War Machine, and like nobody noticed. I know I didn't notice.
I know in the second movie when Rhodey shows up and it's the new actor, the actor's first line is literally, I'm here, deal with it. And I was like, oh, that's a dig at the other actors.
I wonder why he left.
Because he said he was just as much important as Robert Downey Jr. and wanted the same pay as Robert Downey Jr. And they were like, he's Iron Man in a movie called Iron Man. So, no, you don't get as much money as him.
There have been background characters that are paid more than regular characters, though. It is not uncommon.
I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, but you don't get... Robert Downey Jr. is literally like the most bankable actor in the world
Maybe
right
it was.
now.
Maybe it was.
So,
You're in film though, so you
Yeah.
know like about the text like on like movie posters.
Yeah.
Top left is like peak.
Yeah.
I wonder if he wanted to be like second, and they like gave it to whoever plays like Pepper Potts, and he was like really upset. It was like.
I don't remember who it was or what movie it was. There was an actor who like renegotiated his contract, and they were only gonna pay him like. He's like, no, you pay me like. Wait, was it Keanu Reeves who did it in The Matrix?
yeah.
Where he negotiated his contract to be like basically nothing, but like a way higher percentage of ticket sales, so you like made a fuck ton of more money than he was supposed to.
Whenever
I
you
know.
do that...
I know. Lucasfilms. That's kind of how what they did. They just licensed the stuff. Like they don't actually make any money off of the film, but they make
Right.
all the money from all the merchandise
Well,
that's
there's, like,
associated with it.
They actually make quite a bit of money. There's a whole thing of no big film in Hollywood ever actually turns a profit.
Yeah.
And they do that because a lot of their actors, they're like, hey, you can have 10% of the profit. How does that sound? and then they never pay them anything, because what they do is when they edit the film, they send it to their own editing company, which is still technically a separate company, and that editing company charges them however more than what they think the movie will make. So it'll be like if they think the movie will make $1 billion,
Yeah.
the editing company will charge $1.6 billion. So technically the movie doesn't make a profit, but the studio still makes a profit off the movie. And
It's
they do
kinda like
that
what
so they
Apple
don't have to
does.
pay out. It's basically a loop around so that they can get actors without having to actually give them anything.
It's just like how Apple Ireland owns the design of this phone, but
Yeah.
Apple licenses it to Apple Ireland for a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah. It's weird tax evasion.
Counting.
Accounting.
College finance.
What is it? The first Avengers movie has still to this day technically not made $1. Based on their accounting, it has technically not made $1. It's actually about $300 million in the hole, technically.
They make a fuck ton of money from just licensing. Like Transformers was just a giant
Yeah.
commercial.
True, dude.
Buy our toys.
What was that movie? Was it like Ocean World or something?
Waterworld?
Waterworld. Yeah. They made no money.
I don't even know what that is.
What year did that come out?
I forget. Do you know what Mad Max is?
Yeah. I know what
Yeah.
it is. I haven't seen it.
Apocalypse, whole world's a desert, everybody builds epic cars and fight each other. It's basically that, but the ice caps melted, whole world is an ocean, everybody built badass boats, and they fight each other. It's literally the entire concept
and
of
then
the
like the
movie.
main guy is like has like this weird like amphibious ability.
Yeah, he's a mutant with gills.
Yeah, he can breathe underwater.
And I hate how everybody in the movie's like, oh, we hate you because you have gills, you're a terrible person. And I'm like, it's a world filled with water. Wouldn't you be like, hey, this is my best friend, he's going to keep me alive.
Yeah,
If
man,
I'm
I
drowning, he can just grab me. Like,
He can get me fish.
The world is mostly water now, and that's how everyone feels about Aquaman.
yeah.
I thought Aquaman was a joke. I didn't even know he was a real
But yeah, like
character
at the
until a
time,
couple
it
years
was
ago.
the
You
most
didn't?
expensive movie.
What is?
That movie was
Yeah,
like
Waterworld.
the most
Because
expensive movie.
this whole thing is like filming on water is
That's not
super
good.
expensive.
That's not good if 2 of 5 of us have never seen it or
Yeah.
heard of it.
It wasn't a good movie. Like,
My,
not a great
no,
movie.
my buddy Vincent, that is his favorite movie of all time.
Really?
According to when he was a kid, he went camping in the summer, and up at their camp on a lake, that was literally the only VHS they had. So he's seen it like literally thousands of times, and he can literally just sit down and quote the entire script word for word.
It's a pretty awful movie,
I
actually.
know. That's
Like,
the
it's
sad
a
part.
bad movie.
I don't remember it, to be honest.
He's like
I
frame
only
for
remember.
frame for frame, best film.
It's like it's the only one I've ever watched.
The
but-
only songs on his iPod were just like from the soundtrack.
All I remember about that movie is just like when they go underwater and they go down and you see like the top of like the Empire State Building, and I'm like, wow.
Wait, so when was this movie made roughly? You say camp.
I want to say
80s.
80s or 90s.
Late 80s.
Oh, so this is when like CGI was expensive.
Yeah.
No, there's no CGI in the movie. It's all practical effects. They
Oh,
they,
that's why. Okay.
They rented the use of a lake and made like sculpture, like full size wooden cutouts of like the top of buildings, then just sunk them into the lake.
Do you think companies make purposely bad movies sometimes? Because like I've seen
Oh,
some
yeah,
movies with like
Yeah.
Fantastic
decent plots.
Four. There's a really shitty Fantastic Four movie that was made back in the 90s that nobody ever saw because they never officially released it. But part of their contract at Fox to keep the rights to Fantastic Four is they had to make a movie once every 10 years. So it is the worst film like fucking
Is it,
ever.
Can you availably watch it?
Yeah, you can find it. I'm sure if you look it up, you can find a DVD copy of it somewhere. But it is bad. Like, it's like Fant Four Stick, the latest Fantastic movie that was spelled Fant Four Stick. Yeah, that's why they made that movie and why that movie wasn't all that good. And why it was made on a bare budget and they didn't have any like super big actors in it.
Yeah, they're just like holding
they were
fucking
they were
franchise hostage.
yeah, they wanted to see if they could make. They were holding it hostage by doing this, and in the end, Disney bought all of Fox anyway, so it didn't fucking matter.
Where did you guys get those?
Dude, you look like Larry the Lobster.
Josh got them for me.
What?
Josh got them for me.
Yeah, our friend Josh got them. For
I could
Travis
show up to
for
boxing
his
with
birthday.
these, though.
That's a good
For
birthday
Christmas.
present.
For Christmas.
Christmas present, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's a
Imagine
good
if I
gift,
showed up-
nonetheless.
2 boxing
You
leagues.
shouldn't.
But we
Start getting the sandbag.
It's so funny.
Imagine trying to do a speed bag with those.
it'd be interesting.
I don't think you'd be able to do much for them.
You should bring those in.
It's so funny.
No, they definitely get pissed.
Would they really? Are they a
Maybe
pretty?
like-
Are they a serious place?
A lot of them
Yeah.
are, yeah.
That sucks. Because I would bring those in, and I would like try to get my wallet, and I'm paying at the counter, and be like, "Dude, can you get my wallet for me, bro?" Like,
Yeah, I feel like some of them were pretty serious, but like if we were there a couple months and then did it, you know.
Yeah.
But this is our
Maybe when
first
we
day.
go- yeah, this is our first day on the actual like membership.
maybe they'll relax with you then, since you're paying them, you know, to be there.
I still have my wraps, gloves, and punching mitts from high school.
Yeah.
I did boxing for like a month and a half, did 2 sparring matches, and then a bunch of other stuff happened, and I started working at a horse farm, so I couldn't keep up with it.
Fair enough.
Why
How
don't you just punch the horses?
dude?
Fun. I punched a horse in the eye once.
I was just gonna say, you could just box with the horses.
Why'd you punch the horse in the eye?
The horse's name was Mr. T.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the horse's actual name was Teterus or something like that, but everybody called him Mr. T. It was a rescue horse farm, so abused horses. And Mr. T was a very aggressive horse. And I was walking by his stall. I own a lot of hats. I'm very protective of my hats. And he runs up to the front of the stall, bites my hat off my head, and out of reaction, I just straight hooked the horse right in the fucking eye.
So could we?
God damn.
This podcast episode is now I abused a horse at a horse farm for abused horses.
Like, I felt bad about it
Travis missed
afterward. But
all of that till we got to the end.
I felt bad about it, but after that, he never ever tried to bite my hat off my head again.
That's true.
Yeah.
He also probably was like, I thought this place people were cool here.
He's like, I thought you guys were cool. Travis is still like, what happened?
They also had a horse named Tommy, which was a bred since Clydesdale. Like, he was like
Big
fucking
horse.
massive. Like, his back was higher than my head, pretty much. And like the sweetest horse ever. But his whole thing is like, horses, when you walk them, they look at you, and wherever your eyes or your head is facing is where they'll walk to. So if you're ever walking a horse, like holding onto their rein, and you turn this way, they will just walk into you and plow you over. And the problem was that the lady who owned the horse farm was like 4'8", and all the other like people volunteered there were all girls, and one dude who was like 5'2", really short guy. And then there was me, so I was like literally like a foot taller than everybody else who worked there, so I was the only one that could walk him because he can't see their heads. So anytime they would try to walk him, he would just outwalk them and just start pulling them and dragging them.
It's really funny.
It's a fucking big horse.
Yeah, he was a towing horse for logging, and
How do you get abused?
he broke one of his rear ankles, and the people that owned him way up north, some sort of offshoot logging company that, not a very good company. They tied him to a tree and left him to die, and he was found 5 days later, almost starved to death.
Damn.
And horses do this thing called wind sucking, where they like put their jaw on something and suck air up the back of their throat. It basically gets them high, so they don't feel pain. And he was addicted to it and had to wear a special harness that kept him from opening his jaw all the way. Because it like really hurts their sinuses.
Interesting.
What's
Yeah.
the high like?
I don't fucking... It basically...
Sounds
it basically
like their version of like morphine.
it
Sounds
makes,
like their version of whippets, dude.
it's basically a painkiller. It's a way for them
Okay.
to like
So they
not
don't-
feel the pain.
That's kind of sad. That's fucked up.
That's crazy.
That's a bit fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit.
Super
hurts my
sweet
heart a
horse.
little bit.
Love that
Yeah.
horse, but
Poor bastard.
Horses are pretty sick.
he used to always come up behind me and just like nibble on the corner of like my jacket.
It's like, bro, you want to do whippets?
Behind the barn, I got the perfect spot.
It's like, you take this thing off my face.
I didn't know horses could do that, let alone get addicted to it. Like, that's crazy.
If I like try to filter feed like SpongeBob, can I get high too? You know, it's like.
I can't say.
We'd probably get lightheaded at least.
So it'll be kind of like a whippet.
Yeah, I think
You won't
this-
be getting oxygen.
I've never done a whippet, so I can't speak to that. I don't really plan on doing one.
Is that like when you like?
Does
Honestly,
anyone
that made me
truly
lightheaded.
plan to whip it?
I think some people do. I think some people just bring it in the car with them.
Isn't
Yeah,
that like
dude,
when you like
just keep
inhale
Sharpies.
like
There was a
chemicals? Is that what a whippet is? I'm still confused what a whippet is.
So,
So you take a can of whipped cream. and-
Oh, it's the compressed air, right?
Yeah. So like people will buy like little compressed air. You can buy
For,
little
like,
tubes.
Keyboard cleaners. Not the same thing, right? Like just.
It's like
it's just
CO2
air.
cartridges, but it's air.
Yeah, CO2.
Yeah.
But you can buy little cartridges for like cars, like the wooden
Yeah.
cars, like that
Okay.
you build in like school and shit. But you can buy those. And people get those. You pick the top and you just suck it in. And there was
Just
a-
shotgun it.
Yeah, there was a lady on live PD
title
who had like they pulled her
horse
over
whippets.
because she was like
Whippets,
swerving and shit,
Yeah.
and she just had
Like
fucking
the
5
thigh just,
whippets,
just like a
like
horse.
50
Like,
packs
if
of
we could
whippets.
find like a
just
stock photo of a horse that just looks
Doing
baked
whippets
out of its
driving
spine,
around.
dude.
I'll just search high horses.
Yeah, dude. Perfect.
Oh shit, a cat.
I like this hat,
That's
by the way.
Nelly.
I haven't seen this one yet.
Cool.
I look at you.
Your parents got it for me.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
We're wearing pretty much the same hat.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was
Yeah.
trying to think of a funny bit for it, but
Yeah.
I got the same
I
I
had
Really?
one too.
it's just a Bass Pro Shops hat.
No, it says ass bro shop.
The bees
All
were
three.
stitched over.
All three of us were wearing them in the car. How'd you like seeing Rob today?
I did like seeing Rob
That was
today.
pretty funny.
We gotta have
How did
Rob
you
as
feel
a
about
guest.
Rob? In the
It's
very
not what I
short-
was expecting.
The very brief, like.
For some reason, I expected like a beefier dude with like a really big beard. And it's just not at all.
No, that's Michael.
No.
Oh.
Michael's
okay.
a big dude with a beard.
Okay.
You think we could
I'm
get
on board
Rob
now.
on the podcast?
Yeah.
Has he ever been here?
Once or
Rob-
twice.
We could get Rob on the podcast.
Rob.
I feel we can get anybody on the podcast with
It's-
I want
enough
to get
duct tape.
Curtis on
It's not
this.
very duct tape and rope. Anybody's on the
I think
podcast.
Curtis would be like perfect.
Curtis would love the podcast. We have to get him on the.
I mean, we could make a harness on the ceiling and just like hang
Oh.
it here, like laying down sideways.
We're bringing.
Who else would be fucking?
I haven't heard.
Honestly, I don't think Michael would do it, but if I could get Michael here, I would want him here too. That would be
I
hilarious.
think Michael would. I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't think Michael would do it.
Yeah.
He's a little. He's
The
too
most
serious.
we could get is a remote one, you know?
Yeah. We could get him for like 2. We could have him as a call-in.
Yeah,
I
that's
also
true.
want to get like a nice studio down here.
He would come down. No, but Michael would come down here and then like
You'd be like, I'll
be
sit.
like
But we
everybody's
could find
setting
out
up and
his
he's
place.
left already.
Just
Like,
I bet Michael
We
would
could do it
stay
down
if we
here, like,
offered
this
him beer.
corner.
Probably.
We're like, there's beer and like.
we'll
good-
give you an
It could
Applebee's
work.
gift card.
We'll get him some
better.
fucking. We'll just pick up some IPAs. He'd be.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I'll hang out all day.
Especially if we like plan on doing that by the end of the year anyway.
Yeah.
What?
Don't worry about it.
I missed that.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
It's
it.
fine. We'll listen to it in the recording later.
Yeah, I'll call back. I'll
It's not
scrub
like
through it.
it's not like we're recording this right now
It's
or
true.
anything.
I don't
Yeah.
think it picked it up.
Hefe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call this a hefe for some reason.
What do you guys use for pods?
Menthol.
That sucks. That's sad.
Yeah.
I miss mint.
They got rid of mint.
Yeah, dude. Remember I was talking about?
So
on the
hold on,
cartoon?
this is bullshit. We're talking about this. So
Jewel.
what they did
Fuck you.
was well, it wasn't Jules' fault, but what happened was they got rid of like the mango and the fruit medley
I saw that,
and the creme brulee,
which I understand.
and then so they got it to where it was just mint, menthol, tobacco.
Okay, I remember that.
And then they did a survey on high school kids asking them if they jeweled and if they did, what flavor they used, and 91% who said that they had one said they used mint. So they got rid of mint too.
It's just gonna go down to one flavor.
It's just
They're
gonna
down to menthol and tobacco.
They're gonna do a bleach
And
flavor.
guess
and that's
what?
gonna be
Everyone
the
who
last
used
flavor.
mint just switched
also
to
known as
menthol.
meth flavor.
Like they don't
Meth
seem to
flavor.
understand that no matter if you ban it, they're always just going to use whichever one tastes the best.
You think they'd put more money onto like, I don't know, treating the addiction that they
Yeah.
caused instead of being like, what flavors are we gonna get rid of?
I think
Okay.
they should just put more money into getting kids to do this. That way, people die younger, and we don't have to keep doing Social Security.
This guy has a
I
plan.
mean, like
We're already getting rid of it, so I mean, I don't want to live long enough to have it.
welcome to public school. We're automatically going to bump you to a B if you take this jewel.
Dude, we're talking about there's kind of this is a long ways out. I don't know if it'll ever come into fruition, but I want to make a cartoon, and we were talking about like it was gonna be like at a wizard school, but like a shitty. It's gonna be more like,
Hogwarts, not Hogwarts.
yeah, it's gonna be, but I don't want it to be a big castle. I want it to look like a regular shitty high school, you know. And just have like.
I wouldn't even make a
magical students.
cartoon, bro. I would just go to an abandoned school in like Lewiston or something and just have it live action.
Money.
We thought it would be funny if there was an episode where they're like looking for a lost jewel, and they like the whole time think it's like a gemstone type jewel, and
It's the
it's
last
actually
mango
just-
fruit.
It's the
cart-
last. I want it to be the last mint jewel pod because that's like the one. You know what I mean? That's the goat flavor.
It really is.
And we thought it would be even funnier if like they were like, "Well, don't hit it; it's cursed." And then one of them hits it, and then just has a nicotine addiction for the rest of the series. Like,
But a jewel won't do it, so he's like going through like a pot like a day.
yeah, like we do. We did. We're not that bad anymore.
Not
It's just
anymore.
a straight nicotine addiction. I just picture later, like, they're, like, going on a quest, like, we need to find the dragon.
He's
In the background, like, what's that guy? Nicotine fits, don't worry about it.
Be like, there was only one mint jewel pod, so that's all he's. Now he's just withdrawing.
He's in the back. I have to shit.
Yeah.
Got
You
the
driving in
night
the car?
shifts.
Can we go to the gas station?
And they're like underage, so they have to like find someone
Yeah,
to
it doesn't really
get-
happen to me anymore.
buy the pods for them.
Yeah, don't get that.
You just
anymore.
you cut into to super. Was it super bad where they go to buy the alcohol?
Yeah, dude.
You just cut that in, but you just have Jewel like over the place with it.
Yeah, dude. We should just do a whole parody segment of the McLovin scene.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I was talking about too. I wanted to have like an underground bar, right? Like under the school in the school's basement. That maybe like one of the potions kids is like, well, I can brew real good. So,
Oh yeah, with the shitty alcohol.
yeah, but so we made up this like fake drink that we referred to as the working man's Bloody Mary. It's just coffee and brandy, but with ketchup put in it, and we thought it'd be funny if when the teacher catches them, right, they like sort of like blackmail / bribe him because they know that that's what he drinks every day in his mug, and he's just like, why don't you just take one of these? As long as you don't say anything, and then he just.
Working man's
But
Bloody
we know
Mary.
what you drink every morning, like, and then he's just like he's kind of locked in at that point because then they could just tell on him for smoking, like drinking
Yeah.
every day at work, and then it just continues.
I mean, let's be honest. A lot of the teachers in Hogwarts were definitely smoking.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have to.
Like IRL offset too, like
You'd have to in order to deal with teenage magic horny casters every day. Like,
yeah, that's true.
why in the movies they never talk about? There must have been a lot of fucking going on there because they had no
That's
internet or
true.
anything,
Wasn't
and
there
they
like,
were all horny teenagers. There was definitely a lot of fucking.
where
going
was
on.
there like
filmed?
they didn't obviously show like screwing, but wasn't there like a bunch of scenes where there's just like people are like making out in the hallways?
Yeah.
You just see
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
tension between
Often.
people, like staring at each other.
Yeah.
I think the most interesting character in Harry Potter is Filch, because he's the janitor of a magic school. He has no magical abilities himself, yet he's the only one that actually knows the entire layout of the school. And I'm like, what is his story? Like, how did he get this job?
Indeed. Oh wait, they don't have the internet.
Yeah.
Yellow pages.
Well, he's a squib, so he's the people that can see through magic. But,
You think they would just make a
has a-
spell to get rid of all
You
the
can see
fucking
through magic.
garbage
Well, yeah,
on the
you know,
ground?
squibs are like basically muggles. They can't do magic, but they can.
I think they
See-through
still
magic?
they come from like magical families, but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are magic.
Well, they stay in the book. Squibs are unique because they can't do magic, but they can see through magic, which means unlike even wizards, illusions and stuff just do not work on them at all.
Okay.
Which is part of the reason why he makes a good janitor, is because no kids can cast an illusion spell, and he's still able to see it. Like,
Yeah.
I've never read a Harry Potter book or watched a
The
movie.
invisibility cloak.
Literally
got
the
passed,
zero
I know,
time.
right?
The invisibility cloak is one of the 3 Horcruxes, which are basically they were made by Death himself, so they are
So they're very powerful.
very, very powerful. But even then, in that scene with Harry Potter in the library, he like sensed somebody was there. And he's like,
Yeah, because didn't he like
feel-
reach out at him?
Yeah,
to
he-
like back up.
yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Makes
Filch who did that.
No,
that
no, no.
was
Snape did
Oh,
that,
yeah.
but Filch was like knew somebody was in the library.
Right.
Matt, you see Harry Potter?
I've seen some, not all of the movies. I've never read any of the books.
Matt's like
I've seen
read
them.
one book in his
We're
entire
both
life.
lost.
The
Yeah.
last book I read all the way through was the 3rd Percy Jackson in 7th grade.
Did you read a Harry Potter book?
I didn't finish it.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I've read all of them before.
Before
But-
7th grade?
Yeah,
Respect.
Cat hair in my mouth.
I was real into it.
I listened
And
to
they're like,
audiobooks.
you know,
What
like,
made
I
you?
would-
What in Percy made you not want to read ever again?
Percy Jackson.
I enjoyed the book. Honestly, it was just something in my brain after that just went. I don't think I want to do that anymore.
You're like, we have the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my problem is like I like the universe of Harry Potter, although the magic is kind of fucking broken. But I hate Harry Potter, the character. Every person I ever meet that like is a fan of Harry Potter, I'm like, who's your favorite character? I've never heard anyone say Harry Potter.
Yeah, nobody.
Like you got those edgy people like, oh, I love like Malfoy, or like, oh, Ron's funny, but like nobody ever says Harry Potter is their favorite character.
I feel like, in a way, they gave him like the worst character development
Yeah.
out of all of them.
Well, I hate the fact that they made him like grow up as like a normal person, and then he gets brought into this magic society, and at no point does he like he grew up in an age of like internet and stuff and TV, so at no point does he think, shit, we're going into an all-out war,
The books take place. In,
Accio gun, and
the-
just summon a gun. Like,
she
they
wrote
can
the
do
books in
that.
like the early '90s.
Yeah.
So like, there
I'm
wasn't,
pretty
like,
sure
TV
Harry
either.
Potter's.
He spawns a
Or not, like,
tactical
they're
nuke,
TV.
just
Wait a
ends
minute.
all of
I'm
it.
pretty sure he still knows what a gun is.
Oh, you said like internet and shit.
Yeah, well, he grew up in like TV with a house and stuff. It's like the people he grew up with, like, it's even stated that
But it
they
was-
love
it was-
watching action movies and stuff all the
It was
time.
Yeah.
pre-internet, so
Yeah.
like, Cold War movies were a thing. Like, he could have
Right.
ended it.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
could have just spawned tactical nuke and then left.
Well, it's like the spell Accio, where you can summon anything to you. Can't he just be like when he's in that graveyard or whatever, and you know, Voldemort is doing his whole thing? Couldn't he just be like Accio 9mm? Bang!
Accio, USS Eisenhower,
Like
with a
spell
full crew.
the spells in that fucking series move at like the speed of a baseball. So like anybody with a gun should just kill any wizard.
It's true.
And so I never understood in that series. I'm like, if this was the olden days, it makes sense. But in modern era, like, there'd be wizards with
They
guns.
still
Let's
had
face it,
guns, like in the 1600s. 1700s.
Yeah, but then you can cast 50 spells by the time you load one of those things.